Well, welcome back to The Count, where we're counting down the major stories of the week. I'm Mike Carter. We're moving now on to story number 5. Chaos unleashed. It was revealed this week that DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas received an email where the photographer vindicated Border Patrol agents ahead of that whipping hoax incident. Remember that? Just hours before he spoke to the White House about it. This is what he said.
The person who took these photos of the Border Patrol agents says, "I've never seen them whip anyone." So why is the president out there today talking about people being strapped?
So let me correct the statements in your question, if I may. It was on Friday. No, if I may. The image in the photograph that we all saw and that horrified the nation raised serious questions about about what occurred. And as I stated quite clearly, it conjured up images of what has occurred in the past.
Okay, well, joining me now to discuss with reaction is Pinal County Sheriff Mark Lamb. Sheriff, thanks for being here. You just heard that sound from Mayorkas there. Some Republicans now calling for Mayorkas to be impeached over this. What say you?
Well, I think you should. And if you ever wanted to know what it looks like when you're caught in a lie, that's it. This guy was fumbling for words. He couldn't figure out what to say. Why? Because he was wrong and he was lying. And if he had just fessed up and been a man about it, I think that we would see this a lot different. But honestly, he's been a party hack and a patsy for this administration since they took over. And he's done a horrible job. And we feel the effects of it in local law enforcement in places like Arizona and Texas.
You're in a border state there, Sheriff. You're in Arizona. Here now, New York City is quickly becoming a border state, seeing firsthand what border towns and communities like the ones you live and work in operate in. Classrooms here in New York now apparently being overwhelmed by thousands of migrant children they've had to enroll in city schools. What are your thoughts on all of this? Eric Adams says taxpayers here in the Big Apple can expect to pay about $1 billion this year to house and care for all of these people. And if you could give us some insight into the tax burden that's being felt in your area.
Well, this is a tax burden, Mike, that we've been dealing with for a long time in places like Arizona and Texas. We've been handling this situation. You don't hear us crying all the time. These guys get a handful of people. I mean, a few thousand people, and now they can't handle it. This is really something they asked for when they said they were sanctuary cities. They had all the programs in place to kind of deal with it. And who better to deal with it than them? The communities here in Arizona and Texas, we're overwhelmed too, and we have been for a long time. We certainly don't have the resources or the funding to continue to educate the people that are being brought in here illegally.
Yeah, Sheriff, talk to us about that situation on the ground in Arizona right now. How bad are border crossings still these days, and what do you guys need from the federal government?
They're horrible. We've had a 200% increase in traffic stops involving human trafficking, human smuggling, 250% increase in pursuits that are related to human smuggling. My guys can go out there, and we had just a few days ago 5 stops, 27 people being trafficked amongst those 5 vehicles. You're seeing right now a video of what it looks like when they stop and bail out and run into the desert and put everybody at risk. This is something we deal with every day. And then not to mention the dangerous drugs like fentanyl that are being trafficked in by the cartels as well, that are killing Americans every single day, poisoning Americans across this country. And yet this administration, this government, Mayorkas, President Biden, they say nothing about it because they know that it will absolutely kill him in this election.
Sheriff Mark Lamb, we appreciate your time tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless.
All right. Well, Putin's war in